What's up, Facebook Live? Nice to see you all. Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday for those of you who celebrate. Let's see. Good evening, Instagram. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. We are on day number 78 of our 100-day personal performance and business growth challenge. As you are tuning in from around the world, I see awesome people popping on. I'd love to know, number one, where you're tuning in from. Number two, love to know three things you're grateful for out there in the world. Today's topic on day number 78 of a 100-day personal performance and business growth challenge is, are you dreaming of an escape? Now, what I'm talking about on this, it'll be a short, little, sweet, awesome, and amazing conversation here. What is up from Salt Lake, Utah? Nice to see you. San Francisco in the house. Olaf from New York City. What's up? What's up? Heidi in Chicago. Welcome back. Doreen. Let's see. Tosh, nice to see you. So today's topic, to keep it short, sweet, and simple, is, are you dreaming? Jennifer, nice to see you. Welcome back. Are you dreaming of an escape? Now, what I mean by this is, are you living the type of life that every time you drive down the freeway and you see the lottery sign, you see $150 million, $200 million, you sit there and for a split second, your brain goes into the daydream of like, man, if I won that money, oh man, I would travel and I would have more fun and I would enjoy my life and I'd probably quit my job and I'd finally go do all the things I really want to do in my life. If I could just get that money, then I would live the dream. Are you living the kind of life that's susceptible to seeing something like that and falling into the trap, falling into the thought of, if only then I would be able to really do what I want. Now, I've certainly had moments like this in my life, but I'm very blessed and lucky to say, because of certain things that were actually really hard at the time, being told I had 6 days left to live at one point, not succeeding at certain jobs, not doing very well at things I was trying to focus on, not, really succeeding in my first sales role, not really getting the traction I desired, not getting into the university when in the first option that I applied. The things that didn't work out showed me that if in order to get what you want, in order to have that life that you want, number one, you need to know what kind of life you want. You got to design your ideal day, design your ideal life vision. You got to know what it is. You have to be very, very, very consistently connected to that vision. You got to deliberately, dream it up and speak it aloud and make it real. But then the next step is you got to be willing to step beyond and go into actually turning that life into reality, getting rid of the story of someday I'll finally do it. If then I would finally go for it. And you got to say, go from the point of I can't afford it to how can I afford it? We can't do that to how can we do it? That's not possible. How can we make it possible? And as you start to adjust the psychology around it, going from can't, won't, not able to how can we, how will we, how do I do it now? How do I get access to that? Or I'll do it later instead of I'd like to move forward at this moment. And what's happening is as you start to adjust it, John says, I'm an empowering amputee. I really appreciate your support and help to all of us. Hey, John, God bless you, man. And so even then, like you lose a limb. How do I still make this work? How do I still make my life happen? You look at someone like Nick Vujicic. He was born with no arms and no legs. And this dude has made an amazing life out of what he was given. He took the hand he was given. He learned how to play the cards that he had, and he rocked it. He's doing amazing. I mean, this dude fills stadiums around the world and goes to talk to him about great things. But it's figuring out how do you take what you have and how do you do the best you can with it. But it starts with the mindset. I can't afford it to how can I afford it? It's not possible to how can we make it possible? I can't figure out how to do it now to how can we do it right now? My wife and I just found this fun little thing we were doing this morning, at least I was. I went on Airbnb and I looked through the Airbnb Plus locations, these really nicely, beautifully decorated ones. And I started combing through it and be like, dang, I want to start living in a different city or a different place, maybe every other month for an entire month. And I found a place in Iceland that looked fantastic on there. I found a place in Australia down on the beach there, a couple beach houses. I found a place, where else did I see? Majorca, Spain, Rome. I saw a place in, golly, where was that other place? Prague. I saw a place in Budapest. I saw a place in Toronto. I saw a place in, I think, Banff on the lake there. And I looked at all these beautiful places. And I was like, you know what? I want to live in each one of these houses for at least a month, 30 days, every other month out of the year. I was like, why not? We can do it. Let's just do it. And I asked my wife, and she's like, if you want to. I was like, perfect. Let's start blocking out, kind of chunk it out so it's not all back to back. I like being home for a little bit. Maybe it's a month, 1 month out, 2 months in, 1 month out, 2 months in. We'll figure out the cadence and rhythm. But the thought starts to wrap around where it says, hey, that's something that seemingly seems impossible until you just decide to start doing it. And then you get into the rhythm of doing it. Now it becomes possible. And so my question for you is, number one, are you living the type of life you want to be living? Or are you living the type of life that every time you see that sign, you think, man, if I could just get that, then I'd be able to live the life I want? What's the obstacle? What's the story that's between the life you really dream of and desire and the life you're actually living? And we all have stories. We have stories of I don't have enough money. We have stories of I'm stuck in my job. We have stories of I just don't know how to do it. But the truth is, you can transcend any of those if you start up here, and then you got to do the work. When I was living in the front den of a house with 4 roommates in San Diego, and I was saying, I'm going to travel the world and do all these things, I was lacking a resource, money. So I had to figure out, okay, how can I travel the world when I don't have a lot of money right now? And so that key is, okay, what could I do? Well, what value could I add? What is my trade? Meaning back in the day, if you were a iron worker or a horseshoe maker, your trade was, I'll make horseshoes for your horse, and then I'll trade it to you. I'll trade you in return for food. And if you were a good hunter, you'd go get food and come back and go, hey, I've got food, and I'll trade it for a horseshoe for my horse. And if you were an incredible horse breeder, you'd be like, I got a horse, and I'll trade it for some food. And so, your trade, you got to figure out what's the gifts you have that you could trade with for value in return for what it is you desire. What's up from Egypt, friends there? I actually want to take my wife to see the pyramids this year. I think it'd be fun. But the concept of what is the trade you have that you could trade for what it is that you desire in the beginning. Then once you get momentum, once you start earning the resources and you have enough, then you say, hey, is it worth investing my resources there to have this? Or can I invest my resources in something that makes more resources and then use the residual income to do this is what I want to do? So there's layers you can go up, but it all starts with up here saying, how can I make it possible? And getting out of the story of someday, if I could just win that lotto up there, then I'd go for it. It's like, nah, cut the story and just start to go for it. Step into it. Say, hey, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to find a way. How can I find a way? How can I find a way, create a way, make a way, design a way? What do I have to do to make this happen? So that's my invitation to you. It's Good Friday. Hopefully you're out celebrating with some family. God bless. I will see you all tomorrow for day number 79 of this 100-day personal performance and business growth challenge. And I look forward to seeing you there. John, I see some questions. DM me these, and I'll see if I can answer them for you. If not, let's you and I do a live chat tomorrow afternoon, East Coast time, and I'll see if I can answer these for you live while we're on. So see you all later.